Hi guys, welcome to Behavior Bites. My name is Brad.
I'm Mike, and we're also joined by Aaron, our producer.
Hello.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Today's topic that we're going to be talking about is when-then statements. I love this strategy. Mike, talk to us about that.
So when and then statements, think of it as a sentence frame. When, describe the behavior that you want, then this thing is going to happen. It's a limit setting strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really great it's a sentence frame that gives directions to students. Mike already explained it. When this happens, then this can happen. It really simplifies the communication, especially for students that are kind of escalated or in that crisis mode. But it also is very effective really for all three tiers of behavior intervention. I use that with students that are particularly escalated, but I also use it a lot of times with tier 1 classroom management strategies because that helps clarify any direction that I'm giving for any student.
All right, so let's talk about why this actually works. Key bit is it provides clarity. It promotes clarity. It promotes clarity to the irrational mind.
Yeah.
So if you think about students that are getting stuck in a defiant state, we as the adults have to provide clarity for that. So it's clean and it's clear. That's one of the driving forces on how this works or why this works.
Yeah, and when you do that, when you make things clear, especially if I'm feeling, again, escalated or irrational, if things are put more clear for me, it's going to help to reduce challenging, defiant behaviors that we're experiencing. Should we talk about some hows?
So here's some examples. It can sound like this. When you have a seat, then I can begin class. Mm-hmm. When we all get lined up, then we can go to recess. When you finish these last three problems, then you can have the iPad. Or one of my favorites, and I use this a lot, is when your voice matches mine, then we can talk. And that one works great for whiners. It's worked for screamers. It didn't work for the meowers. That's a whole different video.
That's a totally different thing.
That's a different thing. So, yeah.
A quick offshoot of when-then statements would be first-then statements. And a lot of people that live in sort of the special education realm are more familiar with those. We're going to do another video on first-then statements. But again, that's very useful not only for tier 1, 2, 3 behavior interventions, but especially with students with disabilities that have higher needs. And so we'll do a whole nother video series on using first-then statements and also visuals that accompany that.
Another version that you might hear would be if-then statements. I'm partial to when-then statements. So listen to this. So, Brad, if you have a seat, then I can begin. Okay, so you think about that. Or, Brad, when you have a seat, then I can begin.
Right.
Do you notice how there's a kind of a binary choice there? An if gives you an option to not follow through with that. Whereas the when, there's an assumption it's going to happen.
Right. Saying if puts all the power in my court, right? But when assumes that I'm going to eventually do the right thing.
Which brings up one last little bit here, is that when you do this, you've set some great limits, trust it. So, Brad, when you have a seat, then I can begin. Then I'm going to roll out. It might take 30 seconds. It might take a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's it for us for today. Make sure you guys are emailing us. The email address is in the description. And let us know. Comments, questions, thoughts. We'd love to tackle that.
And when we're done with this video, then we can get some tacos. So see you next time.